gamer.
What's going on, sports gamers? Mike Straw here with a special post-Halloween treat for everyone. With the recent release of Mutant Football League Dynasty Edition, I spoke to both creator and producer Mike Mendheim, as well as lead developer Ivan Zaplava, about the latest installment of the Mutant Football franchise. In this two-part interview, I talked to Mike and Ivan about the game's reception over the past year, porting over to the Nintendo Switch, and the future of the Mutant Sports series, among other things. So, without any more delay, let's get right into part 1. And remember, Mutant Football League Dynasty Edition is available now on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and Steam. Last year, when we talked, it was about the support of the fans for something they hadn't seen yet, and the amount of money they gave via Kickstarter. To see the reaction and the growth, is it kind of what you expected over the last 12 months, or has it blown you away?
It hasn't actually been, it's been about 12 months. I think, I was kind of hoping the product was going to be a little bit more successful than it was. So we had excellent, reviews. The players really liked the title. I just wish we had more, resources to market the game so everybody knows it's out there.
Has that been something that I'm assuming that you've kind of been working on as the Dynasty release gets close?
So, we're a small indie studio, right? So we're always kind of struggling with financial resources. But, we hope we have a decent marketing campaign. And this year we have a publisher. So that's Nighthawk Interactive, and Nighthawk is doing the retail editions of the game. So you'll be able to go into, GameStop, Best Buy, Walmart, and actually go pick up PlayStation 4, Xbox One. And, what I'm really super excited about is the Nintendo Switch version. So we'll have retail and digital versions of all of those products. And it's Mutant Football League Dynasty Edition.
How much does, last question before I get to Ivan, how much does having that physical copy of the game mean? I know there's a lot of people that think digital's still the way to go for the future, but it seems that there's something behind being able to put a product in a store and then people who wouldn't necessarily look for it on a digital marketplace just walk by and see the game. How much does that still matter to you?
I think it matters. I think it helps legitimize the title, and I think there's a lot of people who still buy boxed retail games. And when they go in the store, the fact that it's up there with other marquee titles, I mean, that can only help us. So it was pretty cool to be able to partner up with Nighthawk. And, we've got the Switch version, which will be the first football game on the Switch, the first football game that's not, a game that came out many years ago.
Yeah.
And so, for me, the Switch was kind of a dream come true. And it's so cool to play it on the Switch, and it's fun that you can carry it around and just do multiplayer games with a friend, if you're in the car. So I'm totally excited about the Switch, and the Dynasty part of the game kind of completes what we started out to build, and it gives this, arcadey style franchise mode that's a single player experience, but your players now collect XP on the field. You can trade for players. You can pick up free agents. You've got to manage your budgets. You can kind of customize your playbooks, change your dirty tricks. And, the biggest part about Dynasty is you get to play multiple seasons. And the goal is to, stack up multiple Mayhem Bowls and become a dynasty. And it's just really cool, and it just really adds a ton of depth to the product. So, I'm just thrilled we have Dynasty.
Ivan, for you, the PC version of the game came out months ago, and now you've seen the release on Xbox, you've seen the release on PlayStation. How different is it to get something prepared for Nintendo's console? There's still, I mean, it's still the newest of all the systems, and because of the way the cartridges are, is there any difference when it comes to a development standpoint from getting it onto, say, Steam and PC to Nintendo's hybrid console?
I got it. Well, I think Switch is a great system itself, and the guys from Nintendo have done very nice work there, and it wasn't too hard for us to port the game to Switch. And I would say it went even easier after PS4 and Xbox. Well, because we've got some experience from other consoles, and it was almost like we were making a game for a PC. The only difference that Switch supports the two different formats of the gameplay, like handheld and TV. And other than that, I would say it was pretty smooth and easy for us.
For the or go on, Mike.
Well, I'm just gonna say, yeah, that's easy for Ivan, right?
Yeah.
Well, we gathered a lot of experience after PS4 and Xbox, like I said. So, so I can say that. And the guys from Unity, they're just great. We had a couple of issues, but they resolved them pretty quickly, like less than a month, and that's a very great timing for such a huge company. So, it was quite smooth, like I said.
Being as small of a development studio and a development team as it is, what type of obstacles did you really find when building, especially the Dynasty mode, from when that was announced that was going to, that it's coming? What type of just any sort of obstacles did you find from a staffing standpoint, just resources? What type of hurdles did you really have to get to the point where you were happy with how everything was progressing?
Well, we have on our team a couple of very experienced engineers, and it was so the tasks, the issues itself that we've got, we jumped over them pretty easily, but the main problem for us was, and it always is probably, is a lack of testing. So it's just not enough testing for our product. There are a lot of features, mechanics in the game, and it's very hard to test everything, and it's getting even harder with each feature you introduce into the game. And sometimes they just don't work together, and you find those issues in a month or in two, and you need to think about this. So I would say if we've got more QA, more people somewhere that will test our game after each release, after alpha release, it would be better.
Yeah. So we do have testing, and we also do betas, right? So we get a lot of people on there and providing.
It's just not enough. It's just not enough. It feels like it would be better if we've got more people.
Yeah. Well, that's always the case, right? But in terms of from a design standpoint, doing a franchise mode is a beast. And on our team, we don't have a big team, but we have experienced, really awesome guys. So in terms of the design for Dynasty, the roadmap for that actually came from our community, right? Because we are a community-driven product, and we try to do features that the community wants, and we try to add teams that the community requests, and that type of thing. So they wanted a Dynasty mode. They wanted a very deep single-player mode, and from the original version of the game, that's what a lot of the press. I mean, the game was very well received. It's just they wanted more depth, and it's really tough because their comparison is Madden football, which is Madden football, right? It's $100 million project, and then we got 8 to 12 guys building Mutant Football League. But regardless, we set out to do that, and it was something that I personally wanted. A lot of the design on that, is shared between me and Ivan, actually. So, like, I'll set up a system, and then Ivan will put it in, and then he'll come back and he'll go, Michael, what the hell? What is this? I think it would work better if we did this or this.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah, and then we'll try it out, and I'll be like, yeah. And, 80% of the time, Ivan wins those. And we kind of approach development this way, at least my design sense. It's like, what do we got to have? Like, what do we have to have? And we have this list, right, from our community. And then I know what a franchise mode needs as from a design standpoint, somebody who loves sports games. So, Ivan and I go through the list and we kind of figure out, he kind of does technical design on it. We discuss, this is too much. We got to get rid of this. It's always give and take. If I want this, I don't get that, right? So you're continuously battling those types of things. But the feature set that we do have for Dynasty, I think, is pretty awesome and complete. And once we get what we think is pretty solid and we put it out there and then people play it and then we get their feedback and they're seeing things with a fresh eye that we aren't. And then we adjust the product from that. So, like, for example, when we first put Dynasty out in test, people were going, oh man, it's like I'm getting tired of playing the same teams every season, right? In terms of just for diversity. So what we ended up doing was adding more teams into the game, and you don't get every team, every Dynasty you play. Like, we shuffle up the divisions and stuff. And that feature change came in fairly late in development, but it actually made a huge difference, right? So it's stuff like that.
So, sports gamers, what do you think? Are you picking up MFL Dynasty Edition? Let us know in the comment section below, and don't forget to come back tomorrow for part 2 of our chat with Mike and Ivan. In the meantime, be sure to subscribe to Sports Gamers Online and hit that bell to be notified every time a new video goes live, and visit sportsgamersonline.com.